preparing and sharing with you all a lot of knowledge on how to prepare the best cabin crew CV, I think it's about time that we rock and learn how to master effective cover letter, as that is also an important aspect of your cabin crew job application when you're pursuing your dream job. Approaching any job in the aviation industry with using a good cover letter is actually a great way to ensure that your cabin crew application has been noticed and hopefully your CV has been selected. Now, cabin crew jobs are a competitive field of interest for many candidates and for many applicants out there. Flying internationally and being able to gain something called a fantastic flying experience or a fantastic work experience, the role of a cabin crew is something very attractive to many of you out there. Just like writing your curriculum vitae, it also becomes very important that you make yourself stand out from the crowd by using a good or a great cover letter. I do have a separate playlist over here on my YouTube channel which reveals all the secrets of how to prepare a successful curriculum vitae. So once you're done taking notes from this video, I suggest that you take a look on that playlist and ensure that your CV has been selected thanks to my advices. Now, thousands of people were able to secure themselves a job in the aviation industry thanks to my YouTube channel. And if you want to be one of them, then I'm welcoming you all in our community of healthy, happy, strong, and knowledgeable people. Let's start talking about how to prepare a successful cover letter. I'm Julia from excrewnextcrew, your cabin crew coach, consultant, and educator. And I'm an ex-crew who's definitely here on the social media platforms to make sure that you are the next crew. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your cover letter actually should speak why you are a strong candidate, why you are stronger than the rest of the candidate for the job role of a cabin crew. What makes you suitable to be a cabin crew for the airline that is offering this job? And in today's video, I will tell you exactly how to write something called a brilliant cabin crew cover letter that will definitely generate your next interview process, which will be your job interview, hopefully. We will also talk about how to structure and how to format your cabin crew cover letter. Then I will let you know what you should include in your cover letter for the cabin crew job. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a cabin crew cover letter sample so you can follow this sample when you will be writing your cabin crew cover letter. Let's start elaborating how to structure your cabin crew cover letter. There are no hard rules when it comes to the cover letter and its structure or the way it's supposed to be written. However, there are things that I definitely recommend, and I have break down the way how you're supposed to write your cover letter into something called 6 steps, which I believe are important and that we have to include them when we are writing our cover letter so we can, have something called absolute success. So the first thing that we need to include is introduction. Then we go to a part which says overview of your knowledge and experience. Something called key selling points will be next. Then you will explain why you want to work for the airline, my favorite part, the key skills part, and at the end, you should politely end and include a call to action in your cover letter. As you can see, when we break down into 6-step process, writing this cover letter doesn't seem to be very hard. However, there is plenty of work to be done and you need to ensure how to prepare that cover letter if you follow this 6 steps and be mindful about all the sentences that you're going to include. But don't worry, we're going to look into these 6 steps together and into detail. When we talk about the introduction, start your cover letter with something called a brief professional introduction. Please try to explain your interest in the role of a cabin crew and tell to the reader who's going to read your cover letter, why are you writing this cover letter? The second part, which will be included, or I recommend that's supposed to be included in your cover letter, is called an overview of your experience and your knowledge. Try to provide a brief summary of yourself, touching on the areas that are your expertise, your experience, and your knowledge, and keep this part very short and up to the point. The third part of your cover letter is the key selling points. This part of your cover letter is where you're gonna highlight your strongest selling points. Try to include what are your greatest strengths, so you're gonna convince the reader why you are the perfect candidate for this job. If you have gotten multiple years of experience as a cabin crew, interactions with passengers, let's say you have been working as a customer service representative at an airport or any other customer service, do focus on these points over here. Try to showcase your key successes and your achievements, and if it's possible, please try to quantify your achievements with numbers so they will look powerful and they will have an impact on the reader that is going to be reading your cover letter. The fourth part, which is supposed to be included in your cover letter, which I recommend, is why do you want to work for the airline? This is the part where your research, we're going to talk about the research a bit later, will come into play. Explain to the reader why you are fitting into the airline's values and the culture. Try to display yourself as someone who can marry the airline values and culture, and you will showcase that you understand the airline. You will showcase that you are actually someone who's genuinely interested to work for that airline. The fifth point that I recommend to be written in your cover letter is your key skills. Describe few of your strongest key skills. Later on, I will mention which are the key skills that you're supposed to focus on. Please provide examples of times when you have used your skills to achieve a positive outcome. And the sixth point from your cover letter is actually a polite ending and call to action, which says that you're supposed to end your cover letter by thanking the reader for their time reading this cover letter, and state that you are really looking forward to hear from them and that you would be eager to discuss further your application process. This will definitely, I call many times I use the sentence cherry on top of the cake, but after all those amazing informations in the format of the 6 steps that I'm sharing with you over here, if you end it in this way with an enthusiasm that you're looking forward hearing from them, will definitely be the cherry on top of the cake. Let's talk about the skills that you're supposed to include here in your cabin crew cover letter. What are the most important skills that you're supposed to include in your cover letter, or which skills you're supposed to choose? If we look what the airlines are looking for when they will publish their vacancy, we can definitely sum up the most important skills into something called 5 valuable skills that if you include any of these skills in your cabin crew cover letter, you're definitely going to be very successful. However, remember that your cover letter should be tailored to your experience, and you should identify what are the most valuable skills that you have, and you should showcase them in your cover letter. So that's the way how you can actually sell yourself to the recruiters. I use this sentence very often. So if your skill set includes the skills that I'm going to discuss, please ensure to follow my advices, as you will be able to demonstrate to the recruiters that you're the candidate who's suitable for the job. The first skill is obviously the customer service skill. So in your job as a cabin crew, you will primarily be someone who's going to be optimizing the passenger experience, while also you have to maintain their safety. Excellent customer service experience is vital in achieving this, and please try to articulate your customer service experience skills when you will be writing your cover letter. Try to show that you're someone who can do that extra mile, or who can go beyond the expectations of the customers, and ensure to convey your customer-driven approach to the tasks. The second skill, which I will talk about, it's very important and it's very well known to many of you, it's the communication. As with most of the jobs out there, communication is a vital skill for all the cabin crew. Whether it will be engaging with your customers or with your colleagues, you should be a candidate who has strong communication, as that is the key to ensure something called a smooth running on the flights. A great way to showcase and to demonstrate in your cover letter that you have communication skills is actually to describe some achievements or some successes that were that came out as a result of your communication skills. The third skill, which I will mention, again, it's very well known to many of you, it's called adaptability. As member of any cabin crew team, you will always be on the move, you will be landing, take off to different countries, you will be working with people from different countries, different nationalities, many diversities will be out there. As such, as a cabin crew, you have to be someone who's easily adaptable. To demonstrate your adaptability in your cover letter, try to show that you are someone who's dynamic, who's capable to, something called acclimatize yourself to changes. Try to write about times where you were able to change and to modify your behavior to accommodate to a certain change. Other ways to show that you are somebody who has a high level of adaptability is to try to include writing about times where you had to learn a new skill to perform some new tasks, and you actually developed a new solution, or you helped them in some problem solving, if I may say. The fourth skill, also very important to many of you, is called simply professionalism. And you all know that the cabin crew are definitely seen as somebody who are the front face of the airline, and for this reason, the cabin crew members must be able to maintain high level of professionalism at all times. And to demonstrate your high level of professionalism in your cover letter, try to draw the attention in times or in situations where you had to demonstrate professionalism while you were operating or you were working in a changing environment. The fifth, very important skill, not less important than the others, is called simply teamwork. In order to meet, the objectives and to ensure that every flight that you are working on will be running successfully and efficiently, a good degree of effective teamwork is essential among all the cabin crew members. In your cover letter, try to highlight times that you have demonstrated your teamwork qualities. This can include, let's say, activities that are outside your work culture or work environment. For example, have you been taking part in any sports events? Have you been working in groups in university? These kind of achievements will definitely enable you to provide a fantastic example in front of the reader, whoever's going to read your cover letter, and will demonstrate you as someone who has a good set of team working skills. Last but not the least, in today's video, I will talk to you about one very important aspect which I always highlight in my videos, and it's called simply research. When writing your cabin crew cover letter, ladies and gentlemen, it is of utmost importance to research every airline that you're going to be applying for. This is important because you need to understand the airline's values and the organizational culture. And when you understand this information, you can actually explain in your cover letter how you can be aligned with the airline's values and cultures. And as an example, I worked for Qatar Airways, but I will use an example of Emirates Airlines. And we will use a sentence which the president of Emirates Airlines has shared that in an interview with Ayata, and he said, "The success of Emirates Airlines is something that is result of their corporate culture, which includes innovation and pioneering spirit, which is combined with something called make it happen attitude. And this has been shared throughout the organization at all levels." He also has said in that interview that he has been working with bright and with talented people who are not afraid to take something called a calculated risk, and this has made his job as a president a lot easier. Now, if we are taking some key takeaways from this statement, we will see the Emirates values and culture. Well, now we know what are the values and in the culture of Emirates, and if we take a look into the words such as innovation, pioneering spirit, determination, talent, calculated risk, if you're preparing a cover letter, let's say for Emirates Airlines, then you definitely should convey how you are someone who can meet these values. This is, of course, an assumption that I'm sharing with you because I assume that you do in fact meet these values. But if you're someone who has no clue about these values, or these values are not close to you, I do not encourage anyone to lie in their cover letter for any reason whatsoever, because honesty is always the best policy when you are approaching every job application. And if you're not honest, then your entire work experience later on is not going to be as pleasant. And I talked a lot in my social media platforms regarding that. Another great aspect of research that will show to the recruiters that you are genuinely interested about the airline is also to learn about the company. Try to research and, you know, to take a step further to find out what are the airline's objectives for the future. Learn about, let's say, their market positions. Things that are showcasing that you're somebody who has a sincere interest in joining the airline. Ladies and gentlemen, when we are talking about preparing an excellent cover letter, we're talking about a serious parameter on which later on you're gonna be chosen as a serious applicant for your next interview process, which will be most probably your job interview, because the airlines cannot obviously recruit all the candidates. They will have a certain amount of candidates which they are going to be seeing as somebody who is meeting the values and the cultures, but later on, among all the candidates, they will take a look definitely at their cover letters to see who is something called the most motivated and the most suitable to be in the position to work for the airline that they are sharing the vacancy for. If I was applying, let's say, for Emirates Airlines, here is a sample of how I would write my cover letter. I would start with my name and my last name in bold letters, followed with the city, or under my name and my last name will be the city where I'm writing the cover letter from, or where I'm coming from, let's say. Then on the left side, as you can see, Emirates Airlines or Etihad or Qatar, whatever airline you're gonna choose to apply for. Then will come the address, the city, the postal code, and the date. So my cover letter would sound like this. Dear HR team members, I am writing to you all with great excitement to apply for the cabin crew position at Emirates Airlines. With over 2 years of customer service experience, which includes working internationally as an exchange student in the United States, I feel ideally suitable for this role. And I'm so sorry for the spelling mistakes. I was writing it in a rush, so therefore if you see any spelling mistake, that is due to me rushing to prepare it, and I'm very sorry for that. Then it is followed with, I was very happy to be part of an exchange student program and study in the United States for 1 year. During this period, I have been working as a customer service representative at Marriott Hotel in Miami, Florida. In my job role, I was ensuring that the highest service and safety standards were maintained both for my colleagues and for my customers. While I was part of Marriott Hotel's family of employees, our team in Miami has received 98% customer service satisfaction in an official survey that has been conducted. We were able to achieve this by tailoring the individual approach to the customers in order to meet their needs and maintain the customer service approach in our job. Once I came to my home country, I have continued working in the customer service industry, and now I'm part of the Hilton Hotel family of employees. My key skills that I have gained and strengthened on a daily basis include customer service experience, trainings in different operational procedures with ability to mentor new colleagues, adaptability in fast-paced, demanding environment, high sense and desire to work in a team with ability to effectively perform tasks alone. With my customer service talent and experience and make it happen attitude, I feel well matched and confident with the Emirates Airlines values and strengths. I'm looking forward getting in touch with you and being able to discuss my application in great details. Yours sincerely, Juliana Georgievska. As you can see, I read it a bit faster, so I won't take a longer time in this video. However, I have followed the 6 steps that I have talked about, and I've also mentioned the important aspect over here, which is how I am going to align myself with the airline values and culture. So I do believe that if you do not copy the same cover letter, but you rather than using the format of the 6 steps that I have discussed previously, you are going to write a brilliant cover letter, and you're going to be the strongest candidate, and you're definitely going to be selected for the job role of a cabin crew for every airline that you are applying for. I can promise you that. And last but not the least, please share your success in any of my social media platforms, so you're going to motivate and help other candidates as well. I would tell you bye for now. This video has come to the end. I don't want to make it more length. However, I know what will be your next question. Your next question, or most probably a comment under this video, will be, how to prepare a cover letter if you do not have any work experience or you do not have a work experience in the aviation industry. And I don't want you to worry about that because that will be the next video. In order to get notified, you should, or I suggest you to click the subscribe button with the notification bell on, because we're going to talk a lot about, or we do talk a lot about on my social media platforms about recruitments, about preparing excellent CV, how to get your CV shortlisted, how to meet up the applicant tracking system, and how to actually worry about the real thing. You know, I always say to the candidates, do not worry about the font, do not worry about your CV template, worry about the content. That is the most important thing you should worry right now at the moment, at any point you are thinking to become a part of any department in the aviation industry. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'm going to be seeing you very soon. Bye bye and have a nice day.